Sigma have just released the 28 to 105mm f2.8 DGDN art lens. This incredibly versatile focal length lends itself to anything from portraits, macro and street photography, as well as architecture and landscapes. You join me here today in the wonderful spa town of Cheltenham, where I intend to tell you exactly what this lens is all about. I don't have to do everything in introduction, do I? That's what the whole video's for. Okay, so before I get out there and put this thing through its paces, let's go through some of the key features. The first thing I noticed when I picked up the lens is it is very substantial. It weighs in at just under a kilo at 995 grams. But to be honest, when you consider that's a constant f2.8 aperture through 24 to 105mm focal range, that's actually, it's to be expected. The lens measures 87.8 by 157.9mm and has a lens construction that consists of 18 elements in 13 groups, which includes 2 FLD, 1 SLD and 5 spherical elements. We also have a minimum focusing distance of just 40 centimeters, so I will be trying out some macro shots later on. The lens produces an angle view of 5.4 to 23.3 degrees, and we have a very useful maximum magnification ratio of 1 to 3.1 at the 28mm end. Other features include an AFL button, focus mode switch, zoom lock switch, iris ring click switch, and iris ring lock switch. The filter size is 82mm and the lens is available in both E-mount and L-mount versions. So those are the key features. Now I'm going to get out and use it. We've got an incredibly versatile focal length here, like I've already mentioned, so I'm starting here in Pitfield Park, which is a lovely area. We've got the water here. I don't know what the right term for an expanse of water this size, pond, lake, I don't know. We've also got the bird life here, so I'm going to get some shots of that. We can do macro. I'm going to go into town later on as well. We can get some architecture stuff, and I'm going to end up on one of our fine hills to get some landscapes at the end of the video as well. So yeah, should be a fun video. Well, I hope so. You're already watching it. Let's go, let's go. Let's get out and see what this can do. I think I'm going to start out with some of the wildlife around here. There's plenty of swans and ducks and all that sort of thing. If nothing else, it'll be a good chance to test out the actual focal range of the lens, 28 to 105. So let's go and get some stuff. No, it's going to rain, isn't it? Every time, every time. Well, I'm not the best wildlife photographer in the world, but this is quite nice. Go on, turn around, mate, turn around, turn around.
The lens features a linear motor HLA or high response linear actuator to produce a maximum drive speed for responsive, precise and smooth autofocus. I had no issue with focusing whatsoever, with the lens snapping to my subject quickly every time. The lens is also virtually silent and produces minimal focus breathing, making this a great choice for videographers or for those wanting to focus stack. This near silent motor came in very handy for getting images of these ducks, for example. I was able to remain very close without startling them. Then again, they are used to getting fed and being around humans all the time, so they wouldn't have cared anyway, but I think you get the point that I'm making.
Right, so it is absolutely hammering it down right now. It is pouring down with rain, and it occurred to me that nobody actually told me whether this lens is weather resistant or not, so I'm actually waiting for somebody to call me back to clarify that. For now, I'm just taking shelter, getting out of the rain while I'm waiting for that information to turn up. But I guess I'll let you know in a minute whether it is or not. No one phoned me back, just left me out there in the rain to fend for myself at the tender age of 47. But I did hear this later. The lens features a dust and splash proof structure, but is not waterproof. It also features a water and oil repellent coating on the front element to make it easier to clean. There you go. Anyway, back to the guy hiding under a tree. Or is he? And just as quickly as that, we've got sunshine again. So I'm going to make the most of this, get out and see what I can do. Oh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful now. Let's start out with the pump rooms. Get that shadow out of the way. Get in a bit here, shall we?
The 28mm end of the lens proved to be more than adequate for capturing these architectural shots. I was also pleasantly surprised to find that I was able to go inside the pump room for some interior shots, and while I could have done with a little wider in some situations, I was still able to produce some nice results. The 40cm minimum focus distance also proved most useful here, but we'll speak more about that in a moment.
Got a few architecture bits there and some bits inside that I wasn't anticipating, so I'm quite happy with that. But I'm going to head into town now and see what other architecture stuff I can get. Hopefully some macro as well.
Moving into the town centre gave me access to even more impressive buildings that I was able to capture, as well as something I hadn't planned on until later in the day. I was originally planning on testing out the macro capabilities at a specific area, but stumbled across some subjects that were just too good to miss.
Okay, well, came for the architecture, stayed for the macro.
Indeed. The lens is perfect for macro shooters thanks to a minimum focusing distance of just 40 centimeters throughout the entirety of the zoom length, allowing you to get in close to your subject, as well as a very useful maximum magnification ratio of 1 to 3.1. This is also backed by the constant f2.8 aperture, which lets you produce wonderful bokeh and depth of field shots. This is perfect for separating your subject from the background and also lends itself to portrait photography.
Something I've been meaning to get for a while. Here we have Cheltenham's very own Jazz Coleman from the mighty Killing Joke, amazing band. A lot of people say that it looks a bit like, what's his name from Harry Potter? It does, but let's get a couple of shots of this one.
Another huge benefit of this focal range is the mid-focal lengths that lend themselves to street photography. While I am much too self-conscious to try and capture people going about their day, I was able to capture these wonderful murals. They're kind of portraits in a way. I mean, there are eyes involved, aren't there? It is also worth pointing out the aperture ring at this point that allows you to manually dial in your aperture for even quicker results.
So, I think that's going to do me for the town centre for now. I'm going to head up the hill now and see what landscape stuff I can get. But I'm going to stop on the way and get myself a bit of food. But don't worry, I'll let you know what it is when I get up there. It's all about food, right? Okay, people, we got ourselves a chicken and bacon club. It's not what I was looking for. I was hoping for something a little bit better than that, to be quite honest with you. But beggars can't be. This isn't why you're here. You don't care about this. You want to know about the lens, don't you? All right, well, I'm going to go out and see what I can do for you people. Right, so out here on the hill, let's get some landscape stuff. It's nice to be away from the hustle and bustle of the town, but it is a little windy up here, so expect beard sway. It's going to happen, people. There's nothing I can do about it. I am who I am. Let's get some landscapes. See if we can do something with them leading lines there we've got for the path. Might be able to do something with that. Maybe. And that's how it goes. I think I'm going to head off over that way. See what we can get. Get more. My hair, good lord. Okay, let's just try and get a few little bits before we head off.
Once again, it is the versatility of this lens that proves to be its most useful asset. Being able to seamlessly switch between wide open spaces or zoom in on a specific area, this lens has you covered. The more I think about it though, zooming in on a specific area is exactly what you do in photography. Why would you zoom in on an area that you had no interest in taking a photo of? I also feel that I owe a huge apology to Sainsbury's at this point. Their chicken and bacon club sandwich turned out to be absolutely delicious and I will be buying it again. Well done.
Well, I've not gotten as much as I wanted to up here, but it looks like we might have some bad weather starting to roll in. So I think I'm going to wrap this video up, quickly go somewhere and summarize this lens, because it's been fun to use. It's certainly versatile, that's for sure. But yeah, let's get this done. And there we have it. I'm drawing this video to a close. I've literally got to get a move on because the bad weather is very, very fast approaching. Let's get this done. Has anybody else noticed how windy it's been this year as well? It's like no matter what the weather, whether it's rain or, you know, sunny, it's always like 15-mile-an-hour winds all the time. No matter what I do, it's always just... Anyway, enough wind from me as well. So let's go through a few things. First of all, the versatility of this lens, of course, is the standout feature of it. 24 to 105, you've got such a decent amount to play with there on this full frame. Over the course of the day, I've managed to get some architecture and some landscape stuff. I got some macro shots thanks to the 40 centimeter close focusing distance. It's also a great lens for portraits, and I was able to get some decent wildlife shots with it earlier on as well. It was very versatile for that. It gave me just enough room to play with. I was quite happy with what I got earlier on. The clarity of the images I found to be very pleasing. At this moment, I haven't had a chance to get back and look at them on a laptop, but I'm sure I will have already discussed that in post on this video. But from what I could see on the back of the camera, everything looked fantastic, as did the color rendition. The autofocus was no slouch either. I didn't have any real issues focusing on anything. It was very fast and efficient. Got me focused on whatever I needed to very quickly. The only one thing I would say about this is that you were very aware of having this lens on you. As I said earlier in the intro, it weighs just shy of 1 kilo, and you can definitely feel it. Not only that, you have this external zoom mechanism which you know, extends the barrel, which is a bit of a shame. But then again, you know, an f2.8 constant aperture through 28 to 105 millimeter, I don't think that's too much of a bad thing. But yeah, I was definitely aware of its presence as I was walking around for a lot today. It's not a small lens by any means, so those of you who are looking to use a everyday lens, maybe this won't be for you. But other than that, it was fantastic. I had a good time with this lens. Incredibly versatile. You've got that f2.8 aperture as well for that beautiful bokeh, which was definitely able to dial in on some of the macro stuff that I got earlier. I was very happy with the depth of field shots that I got. I seriously need to get packed up and out of here now because this cloud is coming in dangerously close. But if you do want any more information on this, make sure that you click the link in the description so you can check out the full listing on our website. Yes, time to go. If you have made it this far into the video, drop a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, because it really does help to boost the channel. And I will see you next time. Who knows, maybe I'll be getting some last dramatic shots. I've got to get out of here. I really do.